In a top high school in South Korea, Han Ji-woo finds it hard to keep up with his classmates who are mostly wealthy and very smart. He was a top student at his old school, but here, he struggles a lot, especially with math, which is really important for college. Since Ji-woo doesn't have much money, he can't afford tutors like the other students. His math teacher, Mr. Kim Gun-ho, suggests he might be better off at a different school because of his low grades. One evening, Ji-woo's roommates give him money to secretly buy snacks and drinks. However, he gets caught by Lee Hak-sung, the night guard. The next day, Mr. Kim tries to make Ji-woo tell who was involved, but Ji-woo doesn't rat out his friends, which impresses Park Bo-ram, a classmate, but also gets him temporarily expelled from the dorms. His roommates thank him and offer money, but Ji-woo refuses, saying they're friends. They talk about how hard it is to sneak in snacks with Hak-sung, the commie officer, on watch because he's very strict and a North Korean defector. Meanwhile, Hak-sung's doctor warns him that his job and the sleeping pills he takes are bad for his health. Lee Hak-sung, a North Korean defector working as a night guard, is told by his doctor that his job and sleeping pills are bad for his health, but he feels he has no other choice for work. He lives alone, spending time with his turtle, drinking strawberry milk, and solving Sudoku. Meanwhile, Ji-woo is kicked out of his dorm and mocked by Bo-ram, a classmate. He cleans his family's apartment before his mother returns from work, unable to tell her he's been kicked out. Caught in the rain, Ji-woo tries to sleep in an abandoned lab but is found by Hak-sung, who lets him stay in his office for the night. Discovering Ji-woo's unfinished math homework, Hak-sung completes it correctly. The next day, Ji-woo is surprised to see his homework done and tries to keep it a secret, even from Bo-ram. He thanks Hak-sung and asks for more help, but Hak-sung refuses. Ji-woo learns that even the private tutors of his wealthy classmates find some math problems challenging, showing Hak-sung's unique skills. Despite Ji-woo's persistent requests for tutoring, Hak-sung initially refuses. After overhearing a conversation about welfare students and their struggles, including Ji-woo, Hak-sung advises Ji-woo against self-pity. Ji-woo expresses his frustration over his lack of opportunities, which convinces Hak-sung to tutor him in exchange for strawberry milk. Hak-sung, who had helped relocating to South Korea, values independence and insists on paying for gifts from his friend Ji-cheol, who supports North Korean defectors. They set up a secret classroom in an abandoned lab with 3 rules. Keep the classes secret, only discuss math, and ignore grades and tests. Ji-woo's first lesson involves a seemingly simple problem about the area of a triangle, which Hak-sung complicates to teach a deeper lesson. Ji-woo feels misled by Hak-sung's teaching methods, thinking he was asked the wrong question. However, Hak-sung emphasizes that understanding the problem is more crucial than the solution itself, naming this approach Epsilon, to highlight the importance of seemingly insignificant details. After their lesson, Ji-woo stays with Hak-sung, where they bond over classical music, avoiding personal topics. Ji-woo's use of his phone for music impresses Hak-sung and helps him achieve a deep sleep. The next day, Ji-woo finds out from Mr. Kim that instead of finals, they'll compete in the Pythagoras math competition, with high expectations set. Ji-woo continues visiting Hak-sung for tutoring, raising Bo-ram's curiosity due to his frequent purchases of strawberry milk. During a tough math session, Ji-woo learns from Hak-sung about the value of manually solving problems, a lesson inspired by mathematician Bernhard Riemann's dedication to understanding math deeply. Hak-sung challenges Ji-woo to verify his own solutions, promoting independent thinking. As Ji-woo's math skills grow, he faces personal challenges. A friend leaves the school, highlighting the pressures on welfare students. Meanwhile, Ji-woo's conversation with Bo-ram, a classmate who appears wealthy but is technically on welfare due to her family situation, is cut short by her mother. Bo-ram faces her own pressures, including criticism from her mother for her music interests and the revelation that her mother has arranged for illegal private tutoring from Mr. Kim, their teacher. Ji-woo considers transferring schools after his friend leaves, but Hak-sung encourages him to keep going, emphasizing that perseverance is key to success, not just intelligence. Hak-sung shows Ji-woo that he's learning well, despite some mistakes. When Ji-woo's suspension is lifted, he returns to the dorms but misses living with Hak-sung. Bo-ram gives Ji-woo strawberry milk as an apology and discovers his tutoring sessions with Hak-sung. She's allowed to join as long as she keeps it a secret and mistakenly calls Hak-sung commie officer due to a misunderstanding about his background. Hak-sung chooses not to report students sneaking around, reflecting on his own experiences. He shares with Ji-woo that his passion for math grew from a practical need to a genuine love for its beauty. Together with Bo-ram, they explore music and math by creating melodies from numbers. Ji-woo uses Hak-sung's teaching to challenge and correct his teacher's approach in class. Ji-woo challenges his teacher, Mr. Kim, by providing a correct answer that wasn't the expected one for a test question. Mr. Kim criticizes him, emphasizing that exams require giving expected answers, not necessarily the correct ones. Ji-woo refuses to compromise his integrity and is punished. He also tells Mr. Kim he won't be transferring schools. Later, Hak-sung receives a smartphone as a gift from Ji-cheol, making it easier for him to be contacted. Ji-woo prints a long thesis for Hak-sung to read more comfortably. During the Pythagoras test, Ji-woo performs well thanks to Hak-sung's tutoring, but Bo-ram, overwhelmed by pressure, leaves the exam early and is kept at home by her mother to avoid embarrassment. Ji-woo's attempts to reach out to Bo-ram go unanswered. He and Hak-sung attend a classical concert with tickets Bo-ram provided, but she doesn't appear. The concert moves Hak-sung to tears. Afterwards, Hak-sung invites Ji-woo for dinner, a significant gesture showing their close relationship. The Pythagoras test gets leaked online, causing a crisis for the teachers who need to identify the responsible student to avoid being fired by the education board. In a different turn of events, Ji-woo and Hak-sung encounter a man from North Korea in a bookstore who recognizes Hak-sung as a doctor and a mathematical genius from their university days, leading to an awkward moment when he mistakes Ji-woo for Hak-sung's son. Haksung is visibly unsettled and avoids Ji-woo's questions afterward. Reflecting at home, Haksung reminisces about happy times with his actual son, Tae-yun, including their shared love for strawberry milk. Meanwhile, a major development surfaces on TV. Lee Haksung is named as the person close to solving the Riemann hypothesis, a monumental challenge in mathematics, with the validation process still underway. A Professor O shares his childhood memory of meeting Haksung at a math Olympiad, highlighting a moment when they both received fancy pens from a renowned mathematician, symbolizing their intellectual bond despite representing opposite sides of the Korean divide. After the news broadcast Haksung's potential breakthrough with the Riemann hypothesis, Ji-woo tries to talk to him about it, but Haksung angrily refuses to discuss the topic. Simultaneously, Mr. Kim faces a crisis due to the leaked test, and upon reviewing security footage, he mistakenly believes Ji-woo is responsible for the leak because of a misunderstanding involving Ji-woo and some printed sheets. Mr. Kim tries to force Ji-woo into transferring schools by threatening to expose him, even though Ji-woo is innocent. Rumors spread, and Bo-ram is frustrated because she knows the truth about Ji-woo's innocence. Meanwhile, geopolitical tensions arise as North Korea is upset about the South claiming Haksung's mathematical achievements, which have military implications. The National Intelligence Service, NIS, pressures Gi-cheol to get Haksung to publicly clarify the situation. An attempt by an old colleague to persuade Haksung to return to North Korea fails, especially after insensitively mentioning Haksung's son, exacerbating the situation. Gi-cheol apologizes to Haksung for the unwanted attention, but Haksung appreciates the years of protection he's received despite the current challenges. As Haksung prepares to leave town, Gi-cheol gives him back his valuable research document, which Haksung had once discarded. Ji-woo, arriving to see Haksung, stays outside upon hearing an argument. Haksung is distressed because this research led to his son's death and adamantly refuses to publicize it on TV. After Gi-cheol departs, Ji-woo attempts to reconcile, but Haksung rebuffs him, insisting their relationship is merely that of tutor and student. Meanwhile, an emotional Bo-ram calls Ji-woo, frustrated with how he's being unfairly blamed. Ji-woo ends the call, feeling defeated. Haksung's painful memories resurface at the bus station when he thinks he sees his son in a passerby. He recalls the tragic argument and circumstances leading to his son Tae-yun's death. Tae-yun had accused his father of selfish motives for defecting to the South, a move that didn't improve their lives as promised. In a desperate attempt to return to the North, Tae-yun was shot by Border Patrol. Back with Ji-woo, he quietly uses his mother's stamp on the transfer papers, making a significant decision about his future without waking her. Ji-woo submits his transfer papers to Mr. Kim, who approves of his decision. Meanwhile, Haksung is in hiding, but decides to come forward when he learns about Ji-woo's situation from Bo-ram. During the Pythagoras Award ceremony, Haksung makes a dramatic entrance and clears Ji-woo's name by proving he taught Ji-woo math and exposing Mr. Kim as the one who leaked the test. Hak-sung shares his story of defecting from North Korea to pursue math freely, regretting that his work was used for weapons development and led to his son's death. He apologizes to Ji-woo for everything, highlighting Ji-woo's loyalty. After his emotional speech, Ji-cheol, who has been supporting Hak-sung, decides against bringing him to a TV interview. Instead, Ji-cheol presents Hak-sung with a new legal passport and plans for him to lay low, risking his own job in the process. Later, Ji-cheol delivers Hak-sung's gifts to Ji-woo, the famous pen and the first draft of Hak-sung's thesis. 3 years afterward, Ji-woo visits Hak-sung at the Oberwolfach Research Institute for Mathematics in Germany, bringing strawberry milk and rekindling their bond over a long discussion about math.